Good morning and welcome to Cincy Lifestyle. It's a new day, it's a new week, so we are glad you chose to be here with us. And holy mackerel, it's a new hairdo. Good morning, Mona. See, Mona, you can't hear Mona right now, but let me translate for her. It was a long and hard-fought battle, right? Nod your head. That's what, right? But you finally won.
Yes!
It looks marvelous.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now you had some photos that you shared with us. I don't know if we'll have time to share them, but they kind of documented the process. There's the happy beginning. There's kind of there's a little hope, but a little less. Now there's tick-tock, na, 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 na. Okay, and okay, we're rinsing now, Mona. Rinse it. And there's the look of like, I can't believe I got this started. Oh, look, wait, hold it. There's the windblown look. And there's coloring in some of the gray. And there's the happy ending. What was the process like for you?
It was absolutely, I was shocked that it came out as good as it did, but it took all weekend, really, to get it right. It took all weekend. Clyde, it is one thing that I want to try once, and I'm hoping salons, okay, come on, May 1st. I'm looking forward to salons opening up.
Well, I'm telling you, Mona, it is beautiful. You did a great job.
Thank you. Praise God for that. I'm telling you, without him, it would not look like this.
And I know you're saying don't look too close, right?
Right? Don't look too close. Don't go underneath. Right. Just look on the
Leave it alone.
outside.
Right quick, you want to talk about the rain yesterday?
Oh, yeah, quickly. I was taking a walk and there was a chance of rain, and all of a sudden I felt a drop, and I was further from my house. I ran home. I mean, I ran home. It was our producer, Helen said, she said the Olympics was calling me. I'm like, that's right, because I was running so fast getting home.
Oh, well, that's one outcome of all the social distancing we're doing these days. And with that social distancing, of course, a lot of people might feel a little isolated right now. But the library has come up with a way to bring people together and show them that we are all in this together. And here now to talk with us about it is Paula Brim-Heeger, the director of the Public Library of Cincinnati and Hamilton County. Paula, thank you for being with us. You're all cheerful and chipper, and I'm guessing part of it is because this is National Library Week, right?
That's right. Thank you, Clyde. Appreciate having the chance to talk with you. And it is indeed National Library Week.
All right, so tell us a little bit about what you're doing to celebrate National Library Week.
Sure, sure. Of course, with the physical distancing you mentioned and all of the need to stay at home right now, that hasn't stopped the library and our staff from caring about our community. And so a shout out to all of our staff that are helping the community. We're answering calls and chats, email, creating virtual programs and events for our customers, and we are also sewing masks for our first responders at TriHealth. So we're here for you, and you can always visit our website, CincinnatiLibrary.org, and find out more. We do miss seeing everyone, so please be on the lookout this week for special messages from our staff on social media, and give a shout out to your own favorite branch or staff member on social media, hashtag National Library Week.
Okay, I want to make sure we don't miss one of the things you're doing that I think will excite a lot of interest, quilting for a cause. What is that?
That's right. We are putting out a call for everyone in the greater Cincinnati area to join while apart in Quilts for a Cause, which is a special project to represent how we as a community can weather any crisis that comes our way. So the idea, of course, is that if you're feeling a little hemmed in by staying at home and you have a need to do something with your family or with yourself, you can join in this quilting effort.
All right, so do you have to be an experienced quilter to take part?
Absolutely not. Anyone can participate regardless of skill level. And as a matter of fact, I mentioned our virtual programs. We are doing one tomorrow night you check out our Facebook page tomorrow at 7. There'll be a live demo of making a quilt square. So the idea is that if you have some sequins at home, some felt, and you want to kind of do something with a marker that's very basic entry level, that's great. But we also have some great quilters in our community that we're going to rely on as well.
So once the quilt is done, what do you do with it?
Well, hold on to them for now. And what we're going to do is collect them all when we reopen. And then we're going to get all those squares back. We'll work with those expert quilters in our community to assemble them into quilts. And the idea is that we'll auction them off to benefit many of our important services like our homework help and the summer learning we do in the summer. And those are funded by our library foundation. So we'll work with the foundation to do that auction. So all that effort and all that work will also come to a good cause.
Well, it really is quilting for a cause. And for people who want to take part, how should they go about contacting you?
Well, you, as I mentioned, can always call or chat or email, go to our website, but our blog has a really good entry on April 2nd. So if you go over to our blog and check that out, Quilt for a Cause, it gives you all the dimensions and all of the information that you'll need. So if you have any questions, you can, as I mentioned, call us. We're there for you. We're answering calls during our regular business hours. But check out our website and our blog. You can get all the detail. And don't miss the Facebook tomorrow night at 7 p.m. We've had many people participating, so it's going to be great.
Super. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And happy National Library.
And to you as well. Thank you. Mona?
Absolutely.
Well, candles are a great form of aromatherapy, and we need a little bit of that right now. And really, they make your house feel like a home. But what do you do with all that extra wax and glass jars? Well, you can repurpose them. Yep, and our Allie Martin shows us how.
How's the home life going? Have you already vacuumed every square inch 25 times? I bet those windows and mirrors are spotless. And maybe you're like me and have alphabetized your entire vinyl collection. But there may be one project that you haven't tackled yet, and that is recycling your candle jars. I don't know about you, but I have a ton of these lying around, and I need to do something about it. So that's what we're gonna do today, and we're gonna show you how it's done. Okay, to begin, you're first going to need a pot. We are going to fill this up ever so slightly with water. We're gonna put it on the stove, and we're going to allow it to simmer. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the burner on high to get that water boiling. The warmer the water, the faster the wax will melt. Something to keep in mind is you don't need to fill the pot up with water all the way, because if you have tiny jars like so, you don't want them fully submerged. While these are boiling, things to think about. You're probably going to want a glove of some sort, because the jars will be hot. When the jars get nice and hot, the labels start to peel away. And we want that. Look at that. Ooh, that's hot wax, hot wax. So you need to be very, very careful. Now like I said, there are a couple things that you can do with this. You can pour it into another candle with a new wick, but what I'm going to do, because I don't have a wick, I'm actually going to move over to the sink and then put it in a plastic bag. You don't want to put this down the drain. So as we're moving these jars over to the sink, keep in mind they're still probably very hot. But now that we're starting to empty out the wax here, we want to scrub them out and rinse them out as soon as possible. And to help clean out these jars, I have a rough scrub sponge, a baking soda, and Dawn, just in case. So here's an example. Sometimes you might still get some wax residue on the bottom. I actually left the pot boiling with water, so I'm just gonna throw this back on, get this glass to heat up a little bit more, and rinse it out twice. Another thing too is we want to eliminate the labels. Some of these we might get lucky, and they just peel away. Thank you so much, Candlelight Company, because that was a piece of cake. Also be careful, there's a little metal piece at the bottom. Make sure that doesn't go down the drain. Oh yeah. That's one clean jar. That's actually a nice whiskey glass. 2 whiskey glasses. It's really easy as that. Now that these jars are clean, we are able to kind of do what we want with them. Again, we could put trail mix in it, which is exactly what I'm gonna do. Cotton balls in your bathroom, to color pencils, crayons, anything that you have around the house that might be loose that needs to be contained. This is a great solution. And I wasn't kidding when I said I would recycle it into a bourbon glass. Cheers to your next DIY project.
Thank you so much, Allie. That was great. Well, coming up here on Cincy Lifestyle, we talk about how staying at home is impacting your relationship. Yes, relationship therapist Emma Schmitt breaks down how anxiety and fear can limit the intimacy in your love life and what you can do to regain some normalcy. We'll be right back.
Right now, being outside offers a great reprieve from staying indoors, but for 2 local guys, well, the outdoors has been a topic for constant conversation on their podcast. And right now, I want to welcome Bill Creasy, the co-host of the podcast called Nature Guys. Bill, thanks so much for talking with us.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
All right, so tell us a little bit about your background, number 1, and number 2, what Nature Guys is all about.
So I grew up in the Cincinnati area and have a degree in zoology, botany, and master's in education. And I worked at a place called Cincinnati Nature Center over on the east side of town between the Milford and Eastgate area. It's the largest nonprofit membership-supported nature center in the country. And a lot of Cincinnatians don't even know it's there, but it's a great organization. So I was there 43 years, and I met a lot of great people. One of them was our volunteer, Bob Stegenborg. And as I approached retirement, Bob said, we're in need of some walk leaders at a place called the Arc of Appalachia. This is another wonderful land preservation organization, and they're doing wildflower pilgrimage walks. So Bob and I led the walks. One of the gals after walk said, that was the best nature walk I've ever been on. You guys should have a radio show. You're like click and clack of nature. So Bob took that idea, and as I approached retirement, he got the equipment. He has all the technology, and we started podcasting in the fall of 2016.
Okay. So tell me right quick, fast forward to right now, a lot of people are connecting with nature. Why is that so important in these times?
Well, it's just proven scientifically that nature is just such a restorative, curative stress reliever. It's a great place to be. And I think many people who are staying at home now know that going outside is a great break for them and their families as well. And we have all sorts of topics for people to learn about what they might find right in their own neighborhood or their own backyard.
So when people are out and they're experiencing nature, perhaps in the way that they are now for the first time, what do you think people ought to be paying attention to?
Oh my goodness. Everything around them. Nature is just a place to explore and, pay attention to what's out there. If they have questions, in fact, our website, natureguys.org, our website has a place where they can leave a 90-second question if they've made an observation, want to know more about it. And we'll be getting back to everybody, but also they might turn into a podcast for us. And of course, we also have something called a nature break. Normally our podcasts are 20 to 30 minutes, sometimes 40, but we've now got little short ones where families can go outside and do an activity in their backyard.
Okay, so right quick, people want to know more, want to listen into your podcast, want to get in touch with you. How do they do that?
Once again, it's natureguys.org. We have a website that's maintained by my buddy Bob Stegenborg, who's the other co-host. His sister Lisa, it's a family affair. The 3 of us are putting this out. It's all volunteer. And go to the website or any one of your search engines for your own podcasts.
Okay. All right, Bill, thanks a lot. So grateful to you for sharing your time with us.
Sure. Glad to be here, Clyde.
Social distancing and staying at home are both important things to practice right now, but both of these can have a huge impact on your relationships. So, how can you make sure your love life isn't suffering? Well, we asked an expert. And right now, I want to welcome Emma Schmitt, a certified sex therapist. Thank you so much for talking to us today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Well, right now, touch is considered taboo. So, how does that affect our relationships overall?
So, touch is really tricky right now, right? Because this whole 6 feet apart piece. And what we know is that there are a lot of people who experience love through touch or expressing through touch. And so, right now, there are a lot of people who are feeling really disconnected from other humans because they're not able to feel or experience or express their love through that touch. And so I'll have a lot of clients coming in saying they feel just somewhat abandoned by other people because they're not able to experience that touch. Or right now with anxiety, what happens is our nervous systems are really ramped up because of COVID and the fear that's happening. And when that happens, it turns off our desire and engages that nervous system, so that fight or flight mode. So whenever I go and touch my partner, if they're in that anxious fight or flight mode, they might be more hypervigilant or tense their body. And so touch in that way, we're experiencing that with couples or partners where they're experiencing a high level of sensitivity around touch too.
Do you have many clients coming to you with concerns about intimacy, especially at this time?
Yeah, especially single people who have now been completely disconnected from the dating world in terms of being able to see someone in person and touch them and experience intimacy in that way. It's really challenging, and we're seeing a lot of single people feeling really isolated and alone right now. For couples, I'm finding people come in and sex is the last thing on their mind right now, especially when anxiety has increased. And so we're seeing that one partner might want to engage sexually where the other one is just in this nervous system of, I can't be touched right now, I don't want to engage in sex. Or their house is full of chaos, what feels like chaos right now, like new norms, and we all feel a little dysregulated. So intimacy for a lot of people looks like showing up anxious, showing up depressed. When we're not engaged in connection with other people, what happens is depression can set in. Connection is so important for intimacy to happen, and so we're seeing a lot of anxiety and depression right now in our offices for disconnecting intimately.
Okay, well, what are some things you can recommend for people to be safe but still keep that connection?
We think about intimacy as sexual or physical, but intimacy can mean a lot of different things. So intimacy is knowing and being known. So try and engage in other types of intimacy, like work intimacy or aesthetic intimacy or play intimacy. I think couples have really lost this art of playing together, this like childlike playingness. And so develop that craft with your partner. How can I play with them? What would that look like? And taking space to now have that awkward, uncomfortable conversation about sex.
And if people have more questions or want to get more information about your practice, how can they connect with you?
Yeah, so we talk a lot about COVID and relationships and being single on our Instagram page, which is Emma Schmitt Sex Therapy. We have a Facebook page, Emma Schmitt and Associates Sex and Relationship Therapy. But you can also contact us on our website, emma-schmitt.com. And we're doing telehealth therapy right now, so trying to let everybody stay at home while also trying to address, those anxiety and depression and isolation pieces from the comfort of your own home.
Emma, thank you so much for talking to us.
Early histories of College Hill describe it as a wilderness overlooking Cincinnati. Well, over the years, Cincinnatians have turned its arboreal beauty into one of the city's 52 urban neighborhoods. College Hill remains a desirable settlement, and to see why, all you have to do is go around the block. College Hill is coming into its own. You see it in places both large and small. New apartments on Hamilton Avenue, new businesses such as the recently opened Tortillera Garcia. This neighborhood, home to more than 14,000 people, is fulfilling the promise from 200 years ago when the first settlers bought land along what is now the community's spine, Hamilton Avenue. Flower pots maintained by the Garden Club have replaced what was a wilderness in the early 19th century. College Hill was originally known as Pleasant Hill, a suburb for the wealthy, Exemplified by Laurel Court, the Gilded Age manse of Champion paper founder Peter Thompson. Appropriately, Laurel Court sitting on the highest spot in Cincinnati and frequently now serving as an event location. The city of Cincinnati finally annexed College Hill in 1923. Pleasant Hill became College Hill in recognition of the two colleges established there, the Ohio Female College, which operated until the 1870s, and the Farmers College, later Belmont College, still later a military school. Mercy McCauley High School, an all-girls Catholic school, joins nearby Aiken, a public school, in continuing College Hill's dedication to learning. Its collegial past helped make College Hill one of the most diverse communities in the region, a diversity still evident today. And the College Hill Urban Redevelopment Corporation is in its 10th year of using racial, gender, economic, and age diversity to drive community growth. You can see their efforts in the array of businesses on the Hill. Veteran establishments such as Schwartz Jewelers, cheek by jowl with Marty's Hops and Vines, just down the street from Bacall's Cafe. Hodap Funeral Home faces east towards the College Hill Coffee House, catering to a clientele who come for the coffee, the cards, the companionship, and especially the comfort. To the south, a southern fish and chicken restaurant that promises its food will hook you. And when your soul needs the food only nature provides, College Hill offers green space aplenty at 3 parks, such as here in La Boito Woods. You can share more than 2 miles of trails with deer, fox, raccoons, and turtles here, or you can just sit and listen. Green space isn't limited to the parks. Just take a stroll on College Hill's leafy, shaded streets, which feel forested. With its mix of housing styles, both luxurious and simple, you may find that College Hill exudes charm, welcome, and an open invitation to come or come back and spend a little time just wandering around the block.
Thanks for watching our video, and if you liked what you saw, hit the subscribe button. You can also check out full episodes of the show you've never seen before, or watch your favorites again and again. And as always, we love to say it, make it a great day.